So hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm in black and I'm wearing a choker, so you know what that means. It's a Halloween Horror Nights video. Hey, if Michaels can start selling Halloween stuff in August, then I can start wearing my chokers. I would be perfectly fine with skipping the rest of the summer and just skipping right to Halloween Horror Nights season. But alas, we still have about 6 more weeks before Halloween Horror Nights, which means we still have a lot of announcements coming. And since my last video, they have announced another house, and Mike Aiello, who is one of the main people in charge of Halloween Horror Nights Orlando, he went to a convention in California called Midsummer Scream. During that event, they had a session where they released a bunch of details about houses that have already been announced. So thanks to a wonderful friend of mine, Felipe, who was there, I have pictures and information to share from that event. So it's not rumors, it's actual fact of some of the things we're going to be seeing in houses. So we have some insider peeks into Stranger Things, some peeks into the brand new house that was just announced, Graveyard Carnival, and a lot of other awesome news to talk about. So without further ado, let's get to chatting. So first up, let's talk about the additional house that was announced on July 25th by Universal Orlando, and that is Carnival Graveyard Rust in Pieces. First of all, I have to give the design team, the art team, whoever is creating the titles for this year's houses, just a little slow clap for you, because this one and Slaughter Cinema, I just really enjoy the play on words. A+ to you individual, whoever wrote those. I appreciate the play on words. The details for this one. So if you guys remember in my last video, which I'll link right up here, I told you that one of the rumored houses was going to be a Carnival Graveyard. I did not know that was going to be the actual name of the house, but as it turns out, it was. So Carnival Graveyard, that is our house, Rust in Pieces. It's an original house, and the description says that pieces and parts of multiple carnivals have gathered and left to rot. Bright colors turn to rust, cotton candy decays, and fun houses cave in. So there's been another tweet that came out sometime after this that said that the house wouldn't have traditional walls and traditional boo holes like we're used to, but that it would actually be constructed, parts of rides would construct the space, and some spaces you'll walk through in multiple angles. We'll see if that is actually true, but if so, that sounds like an amazing concept for a house, something very different than what we've seen anytime recently, if ever. And if I wasn't already excited for this enough, then they released pieces of artwork from it during the Midsummer Scream session, and it looks awesome. We'll come back to that in a little bit. The video that they released for the announcement shows an abandoned theme park. All the rides are overgrown. There are crows cawing at us, warning us. There's dogs barking, very ominous. There are bumper cars, and although who knows if the video is an actual teaser for the house as much as just setting the atmosphere, we know that Universal has bumper cars because they have used them in previous years. I want to say it was 2007 that had the roaming horde of clowns that had bumper cars that they drove around on the streets. So we know if they have them, they could make that happen. This one sounds amazing. It's got to be my most anticipated, right up there with Slaughter Cinema. Very interesting concept. Can't wait to see the sets. I feel like these are going to be really epic, beautiful, and really unique scares I'm expecting in this one. So this one is high up in my most anticipated. So that leaves us with currently 5 announced houses and 5 houses remaining. We still have 5 houses remaining. So far we have Stranger Things, Trick or Treat. Those are our 2 IPs, which someone commented on my last video and asked what an IP was. IPs are intellectual properties, and I'm sorry for not explaining that before. We just kind of get into Horror Nights lingo sometimes and forget that not everyone is part of this community, but intellectual properties mean that they are usually, the best way to describe it is a film or a TV show that Universal brings into the event. It's not something created specifically for Horror Nights like an original, but an IP is a property that already existed and is brought into the event. So those so far are Trick or Treat and Stranger Things. We have 3 originals announced so far, and that's Dead Exposure Patient Zero, Slaughterhouse Cinema, I can't lift up my 4th finger, well my pinky's down, and Carnival Graveyard. So 5 announced, 5 to go. And if the rumors are true, we have Poltergeist, Halloween, Blumhouse mashup left to go. So that's 3 more IPs and 2 more originals. And Oz House, I can't do it on this hand either. And which one am I forgetting? Oh, the Annihilation style Alien House. So 5 announced, 5 rumored. We're getting close. So now let's talk about Midsummer Scream. I am kind of a noob when it comes to Midsummer Scream. It wasn't really on my radar until I had some friends that flew out to go to it. And I think it's just because it's a California-based event. In Florida, we have Spooky Empire, and Horror Nights has done announcements there before. But this year, it seemed like Midsummer Scream was it because Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood was also there doing a presentation. So thankfully I had a friend, Felipe, who went to the event, and he posted pictures on Twitter from the session. And so I messaged him and asked if I could use the pictures for this video. He said absolutely, and not only did he say yes, but he sent me a whole bunch of pictures he hadn't even posted on Twitter. You guys need to all go follow Felipe. He is another Horror Nights fanatic. I'll put the link down below to his Twitter handle, but I'll also put it right here. You guys should all go follow him to thank him for giving me these awesome pictures to use, and he's super friendly and super awesome. So thank you, Felipe. Okay, so I'm gonna be referencing my phone for a bit because I need to look back at the pictures that he sent. And then, but you guys will be seeing here. I'm gonna scoot over, give myself some space. You guys will be seeing them here as I'm talking about them. Let's talk about Carnival Graveyard first, since we've just been talking about it. Here are some images that Mike Aiello shared from the event. The first item is what looks to be the entrance to the house, and this looks awesome. I cannot wait to see this. It looks like a super immersive facade, very grand in scale. I love the colors. I love the aged look to it. I think this is going to be a stunning first impression for a house. Then next up, they shared what's going to be a scene, one of the scenes you walk through, and it's the Love Shack. And I love it. It kind of reminds me of Penn and Teller's house, where they had the bed where you put the quarters in that vibrated. Kind of reminds me of that, but I'm still super excited for it. I think this house is gonna have a really amazing feel to it. So next up, we have some designs for the Killer Clowns from Outer Space Scare Zone. And Mike shared some of the mask builds for this Scare Zone. So here's some pictures of the masks. I still need to watch this movie. This is still on my homework. It's on Hulu, thankfully, so definitely planning to watch that very soon. And then we move on to Trick or Treat, which Mike and Jeff just watched for the first time. Last week. I made them watch it and they loved it, but it was a nice refresher in my memory, and I really do enjoy that movie. As far as IPs go, Trick or Treat is definitely in my wheelhouse, so big fan of it. This facade looks awesome. Now keep in mind, this picture was obviously taken without show lighting. This looks like studio normal lighting so that they could do a walkthrough. So this is not what it's going to look like. I assume all those pumpkins are gonna look lit, and it's gonna be really eerie. There's probably gonna be fog. It's going to look awesome. They also shared some of the makeup / masks that people will be wearing in this house as the werewolf ladies. So spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Trick or Treat yet, what are you doing? It's an awesome movie, you need to go watch it. But these are the werewolves. They also shared Red's costume. I'm calling her Red because I watched Once Upon a Time. But this is the Little Red Riding Hood costume, which I would love to be if I was in that house. I think that'd be really fun. They also showed part of the interior of the Trick or Treat house. And this is one of my favorite scenes. This is actually the GIF I shared when I said we were watching Trick or Treat. I love the scene where the pumpkin lights on fire. So I doubt the pumpkin's gonna be lighting on fire, but they might have a projection effect or something of it lighting on fire, because I'm pretty sure the fire codes won't let them actually have the pumpkin on fire in the middle of the house. Just a hunch. And I don't know if you can tell in the detail of that photo, but they do have the candy on the stairs. So true to the movie. Okay, so now we're moving into Stranger Things. The first one isn't all that exciting. It's an exterior of the buyer's home. But that's part of what makes Horror Nights so good, is that they match it to the show. So it is going to feel like you're actually walking through the sets of Stranger Things. And we're starting with the buyer's home. And then we get some interior shots that are definitely looking spooky and Stranger Things-esque. And then we get our first view of what the Demogorgon is going to look like. So I pity this character wearing this mask because I would not be able to handle this. You guys, props to you guys who can handle wearing masks like this because this looks intense. At least you're in a soundstage and it's going to be nice and air conditioned for you. There's a consolation in that, right? Right? Not only do we get the closed face Demogorgon, we also get the open Demogorgon. And again, props to the actors wearing these because it looks intense. And I assume it's a mask. I can't tell for sure on the pictures if these are masks or puppets. Comment down below if you know something that I do not about that. But either way, they look pretty awesome. I feel like they're gonna be scary because you know they're gonna have the sound effects and stuff. It's gonna be an effective scare. So that's it for the new pictures for this year. However, I did wanna show one little bonus picture. If you didn't get to attend last year, I shared this picture of Dead Waters, which was in my top 2 houses from last year, basically because of this facade. It was an amazing, beautiful house. Just the entrance was just stunning. I am all about a good facade as you enter a house, and Dead Waters absolutely delivered on that. So neat that they shared that. That is the news that we have so far. It's getting real. We're getting real close. Our trip is booked. We have our hotels. We have our plane tickets. It's official. It's happening. I know when I'm gonna be there. Super excited for it. This year is getting me more and more jazzed with the announcements. I feel like it's going to be a very well balanced year between originals and IPs, and the IPs that we're getting are ones that I am okay with. So I feel like, I don't know that it's gonna top 2011 or 2015 for me. We'll see when we get there, but I think it's going to be a very strong year. So that's gonna be it for today's video. I will be back when there's more news to talk about, and I will definitely be back with my tips for attending 2018 once the full announcement has been made. So if you aren't already subscribed, make sure to click the red button down below to get all of your Halloween Horror Nights 28 news. If you are already subscribed, love you guys. Hope to see you in the fog, and I'll be back again soon. Bye.